So let's try again. So yesterday I did a soundbite, and but with one thing and another, it didn't get uploaded. Stupid iPhone. But that's by the by. Let's start again. So today I'm going to carry on where I left off with my review on Principles of Wicca by Vivian Crowley. When I had left off, I just had finished, if I can speak correctly, chapter 2, which was called The Wiccan Universe. So now I've just completed the third chapter, obviously, called Nature and Seasons. And I have to say, I really enjoyed reading this bit because, I mean, something like this, it could take, I don't know, hundreds of pages, because there's so much about nature and seasons that could be written about. However, it was short, snappy, to the point, and it just flows really well. It starts with a poem, kind of a non-rhyming one, by all accounts, but I shall read it to you. So it goes. Raw and cold is icy spring, cold will arise in the wind. The ducks of the watery pool have raised a cry. Passionately wailful is the harsh shrieking crane, which the wolves hear in the wilderness at the early rise of morning. Birds awaken from meadows. Many are the wild creatures from which they flee out of the wood, out of the green grass. A good season is summer for long journeys. Quiet is the tall fine wood, which the whistle of the wind will not stir. Green is the plumage of the sheltering wood. Eddies swirl in the stream, good is the warmth in the turf. A good season for staying is autumn. There is work then for everyone before the very short days. Dapple the fawns from amongst the hinds, the red clumps of the bracken shelter them. Stags run from the knolls at the belling of the deer herd. Sweet acorns in the wide woods. Corn stalks around the cornfields over the expanse of the brown earth. There are thorn bushes and prickly brambles by the midst of the ruined court. The hard ground is covered with heavy fruit. Hazelnuts of good crop fall from the huge old trees on dikes. In the black season of deep winter, a storm of waves is roused among the expanse of the world. Sad are the birds of every meadow plain, except the ravens that feed on crimson blood. At the clamour of harsh winter, rough, black, dark, smoky, dogs are vicious in cracking bones. The iron pot is put on the fire until the dark, black day. Apparently it's Irish 11th century, attributed traditionally to Omergin. I mean, it just spells out exactly each season perfectly. And I love the imagery of winter with the cauldron, the iron pot on the fire, if I can spit my words out. That's obviously a cauldron, and the thing about dogs or vicious and cracking bones, I could just almost hear it. And then obviously from that it talks about the festivals and the obviously the festivals being Imbolc, spring equinox, Beltane, midsummer, Lammas, autumn equinox, Samhain and Yule. And rather than writing huge massive chapters on each one, there's like almost having one or two paragraphs just spelling out what each bit means in today's language, today's English, and a suggestion on how to celebrate the festival. I mean, the first one, Imbolc, it says it's a good time to plan new enterprises and to make the first moves towards bringing them into actuality. Candle magic and magic for new beginnings are traditional at this time. However, it is best to proceed cautiously. It is time to design and plan, to dig foundations rather than to build, which is really cool. And this is something I can do without rubbing anyone's noses in the fact that this is what I'm doing, because, like I mentioned before, living under someone else's roof, they're kind of uncomfortable about this, so I'm trying to respect their wishes and at the same time respect myself by doing what I need to do to be happy. However, there's a couple of them which doesn't fit this criteria for myself, so I know I'm not the only one out there who wants to respect people's wishes, but at the same time want to respect their own wishes of being happy. And for instance, let's go to Samhain. It suggests to do an altar and put in our ancestors' photos on there. Let's read it precisely because I'm not describing it properly. So here it is. One way of celebrating Samhain is to build an altar to our ancestors and to find old photographs, mementos, medals, and to put them in the place of honour for the festival. We not only have physical ancestors, we also have spiritual ancestors, those whose dreams and visions have created the Wiccan spiritual life that we have today. For Samhain, why not do some research into the great and good, or the great and not always so good of our pagan past? But I have no pagan ancestors, so I can't do this anyway. And second, where exactly am I going to put a discreet altar full of old family photos of family past without my mum A, seeing it and being freaked out, B, touching it and moving things about? You know, this is the kind of things that I need to think about in order to respect my mum and her home. So that kind of thing is difficult. I mean, yes, very informative, easy to put into practice, the way it spells it all out, which is fantastic. But if you're in a situation similar to mine, you have to kind of find ways ways around things, you know. And I guess, I know Samhain is not for another year because it's just passed, and I should be really thinking about Yule and what I'm going to do to celebrate that, because again, it says stuff about celebrating it in a way that I can't really do. Where is it? It says winter solstice or Yule was a time for feasting. So it's time to enjoy goose or pig, to decorate the house with greenery and bright berried holly to burn on the biggest. Why can't I read out loud? Wait. So it says to burn one of the biggest logs in the great warm blaze, to bake sweet honeyed cakes, to buy treats for children from passing peddlers, blah de blah de blah. It's all Christmas type things anyway, which we do celebrate. However, we won't be getting a live tree. We've got 2 fake ones, so one of those will be going up. One really tall one which we bought, which is ours, and one kind of small one which we inherited from someone who's moved back to America. We won't be having any live vlogs because we don't have a live fireplace. We have electric fireplaces. Any baking I'll do, it will be mince pies, doing in filo pastry, doing like cool parcels of them, so like the little drops you can just drop them on your tongue, and you know, so you're not, you can just enjoy them and not worry about eating too many, or I don't know. But that's not really baking. I don't know. It's going to be difficult. I'm sure I'll think of something. So even though the subtitle on this, like I've already mentioned in previous soundbite, it says the only introduction you'll ever need. Now, so far, because of the information already provided and the help it's already given, I would say, yeah, so far it's kind of pointing towards that way. However, I know for a fact there's going to be ways you can celebrate festivals without rubbing it in other people's faces, you know? So, yeah, good introduction, but I won't say only introduction I'll ever need. Surely there's other ways I can be introduced, to be instructed. I don't know, that's just my thoughts so far. I've not finished the book yet, obviously, it's only chapter 3. How many chapters have we got? Let's just have a look. 9. There's 9 chapters, so I'm quarter of the way through. And I'm still doing the previous meditations that it's already encouraging me to do. I've not managed to do daily meditation yet. I did start off that way, but it's something that you have to be really dedicated to and really have to work hard at it. So that is my goal. I'm going to work hard at meditation. I'm going to see if I can do it daily, because it'll benefit me in the long run, because it'll keep me calm, collected. It will help me focus and become a better student and a better person. Right, I'm going to go, and hopefully this time this will upload, and if it does, merrily meet and merrily come again. Blessed be.